listening to the OffBeat Business Show, rebuilding American business influence locally, nationally, and abroad, bringing you experienced insight for a strong, influential brand and successful life in business. Here's your host, Susan Hamilton.
Well, hello there. You're watching OffBeat Business TV. I'm your host, Susan Hamilton, and we are representing you, American business, because 80% of American business tend to be family-owned businesses of 9 employees or less. Yeah, you may have known that, you may have thought about that, but have you thought about what that means? That means that we're building our business while we're raising our kids. We are taking care of our parents. We probably have a veteran in our family or workspace, and over 30% of us have an addict in our family or workspace. And while those things have been going on for a very, very long time, today we've got a legislative circumstance created by the fact that we've been too darn busy. We haven't been working smart. We've been making some choices and things have been happening around us. And it's been a little like a stranglehold. So what we're doing here at OBBM is sharing the authentic voice of American business with you, so you can take something and get smart with it, get excited about it, get inspired with the information that you hear today to start making some better choices in the future. Today, I'm very excited to bring a difficult conversation to you, my friends, because you need it. This is a very, very important time. I'm introducing you to Kurt Shortis. Thank you, Kurt. So glad you're here with TPx. TPx Communications, it's pretty interesting. You just had a brand change from Telepacific.
We did. We were Telepacific Communications. Been in business for some time, since '98, and we've just transitioned from what we were primarily just a CLEC out of California, Nevada, and Texas.
And a CLEC?
CLEC, another one of those big terms. We were basically simple internet provider that had phone services, hosted phone services. We had our own data centers. And today, we are a national managed services carrier and total communication solutions provider for 1 location or 100 locations in Canada and the lower 48. So big jump from where we were to what we are now.
No, but that's it. You are, so many of our businesses are building out, and they're growing, and they're becoming, communication between several different locations is a thing.
Absolutely.
And they're wanting to know how to do that smart. They're recognizing they've got some problems, and they probably need to be stepping into a better understanding of IT. Mm-hmm. Man, if they don't have that place manned, or even if they do, it's a struggle to keep up with a lot of the changes that are going out there today.
Unified communication is a big part of what we provide for them.
Yeah.
It's a difficult, it's a challenging technology that's out, and if your business, everyone remembers back in the day with Apple and what was the other computers, the Mac. Mm-hmm. They didn't communicate. Remember those days? Well, I've got this, I've got that. The software doesn't really work together, doesn't communicate. Today, that's where we are with unified communications. You've got a Droid, you've got a notebook, you've got a whatever applications. And everyone today who doesn't work basically from their phone, from a laptop, from their desktop, whatever application they have, whatever device they have, we're able to put all those together and unify your communications, not just with you, your employees, but with your customers as well.
Yeah, I think that's important, because with our teams being spread out, we need to have our own private network. And we're not really thinking about that in the terms that we need to be. You really satisfy smaller businesses, which thrills me, because our market is business owners of 9 employees or less, that we're seeing more and more make up the majority here. And so I'm excited when I see a company like yours that is dealing with some of the larger capacities. You're bringing those great ideas that are working for larger companies down to a scale that we can use today. Absolutely. And we have to get wiser at it, because geez, we're in a cybersecurity mess in the United States of America. Right. We're a prime target, folks.
Real quick, so you mentioned cyber attacks and whatnot. Yeah. That's huge for everybody. That's going to be something that's on the agenda for, in a global capacity, security. And I don't know if we mentioned this in the past, but one way that people are getting hacked or getting attacked, if you will, of all places, in your home, we have all the doors and stuff boarded up. We have all of our windows boarded up so the bad guy doesn't come in.
I don't know what your house looks like, but I hope we don't. But I get what you're saying.
But in our businesses, we do the same thing. We have all these obvious, and most people think of such things as a firewall as their ultimate protection.
Yes.
And obviously today, that's like one of about 11 things that we put together for our protection options. But in your home, we're talking about individuals. Your digital crock pot, your refrigerator, These devices that we all have, right, with a little simple password, a 4-digit little password, which is basic, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your anything you have on the internet that can turn your crock pot on, which my wife almost bought one last Christmas. I'm like, we can do without it. But your refrigerator, your little devices that you have, your Nest little HVAC system at home. Those are things that people don't think about of protecting. And those are simple things that people don't realize it.
It's just access.
Absolutely.
And we have the way we're doing business and the trend, what we're going to continue to see is the home-based business. We like to office out of our home. We are understanding that with all the technology we have, we can be more flexible, we can do those things. So all of a sudden it is an issue. And one of the things about firewalls, most of us that aren't all tech savvy, that's a frustration, and we have to shut it off to get some of our systems to work, right? Just
Absolutely.
to get them to work.
Absolutely.
To have some access to the wisdom behind how to do that right. How do you set up that firewall? And so you've got that security in your home office while you're dealing with your several locations. And how do you do that and still make sure that your services work? You need somebody that is managing this stuff. You need it in the cloud. You don't need them over,
Well, it's the same thing, even on a bigger scale with corporations.
Yeah.
If you have a small home business, a small, medium-sized business, and what's the definition of a small business, as far as employees or whatever. But even a large corporation has the same things.
Right.
A small business does not have the budget, typically, doesn't need the requirement, per se, of a IT staff. When it's a business of 5, 10, 20
Right.
employees, you don't have staff.
And
to
that's
do
why
the
they're
IT
not
stuff.
doing it, yeah.
Typically what you'll have is an IT consultant company that's represented as that will come in and set everything up for your computer stuff and manage your firewall stuff. Corporations, bigger corporations, they'll have an IT staff that manages that in-house for them. But that's what we're taking off the plates. Working with big corporations, they have things a little terminology that I use, that they have responsibilities that keep them busy like crazy.
Yeah.
But then they have things, a word that we can all relate with, fires. You have little fires. We have these little fires that are all coming at us, and these guys, the IT staff, they're responsible for the network, making sure this is up and running, making sure that everything's working properly. But then they have these fires that come up, and it's more of typically involved in some of their managed services that they work with. That's what we're taking off of their plate, so they can do the things that they need to do.
Yeah, you need to be prepared for growth when it comes to response, when it comes to all those things. So there's that space where we're working within this environment. We start building out and get different locations, and then we have to start getting smarter and start getting wiser. How we're going to do that better. And I love what TPx is doing to step up into that space so that growth can happen, because we don't have time and a lot of time the resources to really manage somebody else managing our IT.
Right.
We need somebody else that's coming in who knows what they're doing here.
Right. Another thing, part of what we manage for companies, corporations, and businesses, medium to small business, we don't work with residential kind of services such as that, but business that we work with and support. For example, something simple and easy, the phone aspect of it.
Yeah.
And some a terminology that most people won't recognize, but it's been around forever. It's POTS, P-O-T-S, Plano Telephone Service. All right, POTS lines. That's what today. Have you ever noticed that your elevators have their own separate? If the power goes out in the building, the elevator still has a communication ability through a POTS line, an analog line. Your fax machines run on that. Your credit card readers work on that. Your alarm systems work on that. Your fire alarm, your security, those work on the POTS lines. Because of technology, everybody remembers back in the day we had the technology of the rabbit ears on the TV. Millennials today will call those bunny ears. I've heard termed. That technology is totally gone and doesn't even exist anymore. We're all in high def, transmission, that the old rabbit ears are in existence anymore, right? Soon, the whole POTS lines aspect. POTS lines are the original phone lines that they used back when you had to call an operator to transport your call. Same technology.
Okay.
That's going to be eventually going away for everybody here soon, just like we did with the high def and the old, broadcast of TV. So now moving into more of a digital, where everything's at, even in the internet. Everyone's business, everyone communicates through the internet. Going back to the whole phone system aspect of it, you don't have just a plain basic telephone system. There's a term that we all recall. They just don't build it like they used to. They just don't build the old things like they used to. That lasted forever. Today, that's a term we called planned obsolescence. Things are only going to last so long, and it's not because the physical phone doesn't last, it's still functioning, but it's the technology is outdated.
Sure.
And that's where we're at today. For example, a hosted phone system where we manage the phone system for you, the past that it functions, the portals that you're able to do for your office, your employees, your communication. What majority of people today with their customers are going to communicate one through a phone or through the internet. If those two vehicles go down, what happens to your business? How do you communicate? How much money does your business lose? Mm-hmm. We make sure we put in managing everything. We make sure that that doesn't happen. Well, you can't predict. The guy doing construction in the front of the road out there cuts the line, right? Yeah. We can't predict that, but we can put in situations. If that does happen, you still don't lose connectivity to the internet. Does that make sense?
Important. Yeah, because that could very well be the customer that you're looking for. That could be the conversation that you needed to have to really move things forward in your business.
What happens when your business burns down overnight? Your phone, your everything, your backup that you have was all in there. For voice, we have a 100% voice guarantee. And anytime I hear in this technology, in this industry, anytime I hear 100% anything, my red flag goes up.
Sure.
How can you predict, or how can you even guarantee 100% that we can still function and access your voice? If your business is nothing but charred, smoking, it's burnt down, we still have the 100% voice when the number that they're calling to your office or however they're reaching your business automatically rolls over. When you're not being able to reach there, we already have a portal access that rolls over to wherever your phones are going to be going next. Typically in an emergency situation such as that, probably your cell phone or whatever communication that you're going to be setting up on that aspect of it. That keeps your business up and running.
And it keeps you from sweating quite so much, right? Because inevitably those things are going to be happening. Inevitably we're going to have some problems that we didn't expect. That can be quite catastrophic. I don't think you're really living if it hasn't. Starting from A to B, I think somewhere I've seen it said, and we share it quite a bit, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Well, that's a scary place to be, too. We've got to be ready for those things that change. And if you're looking for growth, if you're looking in your vision for your future includes new locations, you're going to need to really consider how to do that safely and how to do that wisely. I hope you're enjoying this conversation with Kurt Shortis of TPx. We're going to take a short break and learn from some of our sponsors, and we're going to come right back and continue this conversation. Thank you so much. You're watching OffBeat Business TV.
The American business economy is positioned as it has never been before. Professional videography is a core element for attracting a higher level of engagement with the people group you need for significant impact. Now is your time to shine. My name is Bill Brock, owner of White Rock Films, and I invite you to a powerful opportunity in the marketplace, an opportunity to draw excited people to your events, an opportunity to showcase your ideas on infrastructure, an opportunity to become known as the industry authority and enjoy the associated benefits of a strong, influential brand. Video highlights, video teaches. Video puts a resistant market at ease, and video stirs the hearts and imaginations of your allies and strategic client base. White Rock Films offers full audio, video production for businesses ready to embrace the future, handling your project with professionalism, experience, and polish unheard of in the industry. My name is Bill Brock, and White Rock Films wants your business. See us online at whiterockfilms.com.
And we're back. Yes, you're watching OffBeat Business TV, where we're talking about some of the very important things that are vital to small business growth in America today. We're talking about IT today. We're talking about managed IT, data center solutions. It's a big deal. Here's Kurt Shortis with TPx helping us understand some of those big scary words in ways that we can understand why it matters to us. Because there's a lot, we talked security just a tad earlier. Mm-hmm. But private networking is so important. We've got to be able to communicate a lot better, but smarter, because we have some serious attack going on.
There's a lot going on in the industry. That's for us as normal people who aren't real tech savvy, right, and understand how all that works. A lot of times I just want to be able to turn my computer on and be able to do what I need to do. Mm-hmm. And one day, unfortunately, if that happens, you're going to wake up and what's common today in the industry, if you're not protected, all of your information, all your clientele, all your server, all your backup, everything, your customer information has been basically kidnapped, as they say, or been stolen. And the only way you can access it is pay a ransom, which is very, very frustrating.
And it's happening right and left. These are legitimate concerns. I mean, they are you're hearing about it on daily, if not hourly. Somebody is really coming up short there, thinking that they had it all managed, thinking that was all protected.
You know, a lot of times, and we're talking business, a doctor's office, a
Yes.
dentist, a law office, whatever industry it happens to be in. You know, you've spent your whole life as a surgeon, as a dentist. You know any and everything there is to know about being a dentist, and now running a dentist office. But you're more comfortable being the dentist is working in someone's mouth, right? You're not the one, and it's frustrating. And a lot of these guys tell me now, you know what, I was magna cum laude, it was this, and that. I graduated, thank you, Lottie, when I graduated. But these guys, they don't know a lot about how to run the business aspect of it. And a lot of these guys are the ones, that's why you see a lot of computer consulting companies. You know, I know how to do the computer stuff, but is there something out there that can help us with our managing our software? And there's companies popping up all over the place. You know, title companies, they manufacture software that helps title companies process everything. Same thing in the medical world, the dental world, any industry, pretty much. That's what people are buying into to manage their business.
Yes.
And then it comes to more of what we do. We do the same thing, but not software for the business, but more of the connectivity. We're taking businesses today to a different level of connectivity where they didn't have in the past. Can you imagine, everybody knows Wall Street, you know, New York, Manhattan, with the craziness that goes on with the stock market and everything. Can you fathom if they had received a line cut on their little fiber? You know, how many billions of dollars would be lost just because they can't communicate and do what they need to do? That's not going to be an option for the stock market. That they're never going to lose connectivity, to say the least. Not that your business is on that level, but still, it's impacting
Well,
you.
It's an interesting thought, because
It's a bigger level, but the same concept, same consequences are the same thing, but on a different scale.
Sure.
And you don't want to lose connectivity. You don't want to lose any connectivity via through a voice or through internet communication.
It's so frustrating. Who has time for that? We've got a very, very busy life in business today. We've got things that we got to take care of, and so we need to work smart, and we need to know that that's just done.
Right.
That's the way I play it. Let me tell you. I just want to know it's done. Please take care of it. Please be our resource.
Right.
You know, be the one that takes care of it. I love what you're doing with the hosted call centers. I think that is so helpful, because a lot of times during growth, it's hard to make sure we're managing that communication with our people. You know, that we need to know that's already being taken care of as we grow and as we add locations to our network. That's super, super huge. Tell me, you just had a convention. You just did a really big convention there. What kind of turnout did you have? Tell us a little bit about it.
I'm not sure the total number we had turnout, but with our name change, we acquired back in September of last year, of 16, acquired a company out of the Northeast, DSEI. They were a managed services company, kind of regional, but they were a top-notch, phenomenal company. And now here it is in April. We just launched our name change, if you will. Now we're no longer Pacific Communications, we're TPx. And we had a big event at the Star in Frisco, which is the new world headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys. An amazing venue.
Yes,
We had our leadership and executive team came in, and we were able to do some announcements, had fun, but also were able to do some, we had it actually as a summit. We actually kind of showing some leading edge technology of what we're doing. A big thing, which it's a techie word, but SD-WAN is software.
It is a techie word.
Yeah, WAN,
SD-WAN.
wide area network for corporations who work with a massive territory. They want to be able to communicate. Their offices in LA, their offices in Milwaukee, their offices in Chicago and in Dallas. That's a wide area network. We put that together. Now, where that's been in the past has been a lot of expensive, antiquated equipment to make sure everything's up and running, right? Very expensive to do, but it's vital for communications aspect, right? What we do today is SD-WAN is software-defined wide area network. Eliminates a lot of the cost and expense and management of that wide area network. Remember, I was telling you about these guys, the IT guys for corporations, right? Big corporations. You always wonder, what do these guys do? All I do is see them, sipping on a cup of coffee behind a computer.
And like this.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
this
right?
all the time, right?
Well, they're making sure that whole network's always up and running. And there's aspects of that. You talk to some of these guys, and they can tell you, man, we need to get this done. There's a project we're working on. It's a 6-month project. I've got to put stuff in every day. And if I get behind, it just puts more pressure on us, puts a delay in our process, because I'm putting out these little fires. Well, we're taking care of that operation aspect of those fires that typically cause fires for them, that take away from their productivity of being a business. Talking about a dentist again, or a doctor, or whoever, not in their world of technology, but their world of doing their service of what they trained to do. They can't do what they need to do because they're having to sit on the phone because their internet's down for 20 minutes.
It's ridiculous. And when I saw that you did things like video communications and all of those are legitimate problems for the average American small business.
We're getting so defined. Our whole background with Pacific, we were, how do we separate ourselves from the industry? Award-winning customer service. And if we're in sales, we're all familiar with the term of churn or retention rate. Right. A 99.4 retention rate of keeping our business, because once we have someone, we don't typically lose a customer. And someone asked me the other day, well, that's a pretty bold statement of 99.4% retention rate. What about the other 0.6%? Some companies go out of business. We can't help that part. We keep everything else for the most part. But we take that aspect of our history into what we're doing today as our national managed services provider. That two combined is a dangerous, phenomenal combination of being able to take care of companies' aspects. But going back to the software-defined wide area network, software-defined, taking care of situations of, like I said earlier, on the phone when your services are out. Well, he's the dentist. He's on the phone now for 40 minutes trying to get his system back up for whatever. That's taken away from his productivity. Yep. We actually have a service that when the services go down, right, your internet, whether we're the provider or not getting too techie on that, because we can go over your current provider. Say you work with whoever is your provider and whatever type, whether it be fiber or coax, whatever it is your internet is, we can go over the top of those services and give you managed services. All right. Also, what we're able to do for a business was no one wants to be on the phone with my phone, AT&T. We all have issues, and we're on the phone 20, 30 minutes. And I finally hang up because I'm tired of it. I'll just deal with it later.
Exactly.
But in business, that's not an option. What we recognize from our customers, if there's something you could do, Kurt, that can take care of some of those aspects of running my business, that can help me, would be great. Well, we came up with one simple thing, right? May not be that big of a deal for a big corporate deal, but for a small business, it's amazing. When your services go down that we don't manage, or provide, but we manage it for you, we're on the phone on your behalf, reaching out to whoever your provider is.
That right there is what makes the difference. Guys, you got to know who your resources are. It's a big deal. Kurt, thank you so much for being so generous with your time and sharing this with our audience. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Tell me, how can they reach TPx?
You know what? Easy way is TPx.com. That's our new. I had to think for a second because it's so new. But TPx.com. Straightforward and simple. We'll get you to our main page to see us.
Excellent,
and,
excellent.
That would be a great start.
And I will say one more thing before I let you go. Kurt does some speaking, especially here in the DFW area, but you are not limited. You'll speak anywhere to help people understand how important and how vital it is to get this thing done. And he's talking in a way that entire rooms will understand and engage with you. So I really enjoy your speaking. If they were interested in reaching out to you for a speaking engagement, do you have any particular way you'd like them to reach out to you?
You know what? You can reach my cell phone, which is always a quick and easy way, because I have my desk phone referred back to my cell phone, 972-268-4978. That's an easy way to reach out. My name, Kurt Shortes, my email, kshortes, SHORTES, @tpx.com.
Excellent. And we want to be known for sharing the best business resources for you, American business. Know that you can find all of this information. If you didn't have a chance to write that down, that'll be underneath the video, underneath the audio recording. Go to our website and get everything you need at offbeatbusiness.com. Make sure you download the Offbeat Business app. You'll find our lineup, our replays, our TV, our radio, our magazine, membership directory, sponsor information. It's all there for you, friends. offbeatbusiness.com.
You've been listening to the Offbeat Business Show. Find our lineup, podcast, magazine, event calendar, and sponsor information, even our membership directory, all available on the OffBeat Business app or at offbeatbusiness.com. Download the OffBeat Business app today.
Take this for